it's supposed to feel.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't playing no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel?
Yo, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What's up, yo? Guys, our videos have been doing really solid this week. We had a calculated move. I streamed over on the other channel, and the CM Punk celebration continued through the videos that I made. I was really unhappy with the amount of traction that we were getting at first, but guess what? Since the last stream we had, damn, why do I got freaking baby powder on me? Since the last stream, we actually gained about 20 brand spanking new subscribers. Our videos have been doing, again, really solid. After the fact, I've been reposting it in the community, and CM Punk has helped our channel and our community grow. So I'm happy about that. And we're back with the Wrestling Hour. We're going to be talking about the WWE and some of the things going on over there. So let's give a little shout out to Trout Rooney, who's here. What's up, Trout? Got a little wrestling show going off here. We got Marco Mania already. Keon. Leader is here. Starfish. Terrence is always here. Austin Theory's here. Guys, drop the like. What up, greatest? We're going to be going over some of the things. What up, Brian? Brian is here. Wow, Brian is definitely bored at work. For him to tune in on a Sunday afternoon, that's crazy. He must be really bored. I mean, what's up, Brian? What's going on, my boy? But yeah, we're going to go. You're new, you just subscribed. Welcome to the channel, greatest. So we're going to be going over some of the things that happened after the last show that we did. Which honestly, look, I'm looking through some of the videos, the CM Punk stuff. So I got like 3 dislikes on CM Punk. Back in WWE means a lot. Obviously, people, and it's funny because, believe it or not, that's actually a decent amount of dislikes. I don't tend to get that many, but when videos like that rub people the wrong way if they don't agree with you, you know. But at least I got like 10 likes on that one, and I got a decent amount of views, but people forget to drop a like, and it's okay. I'm one of those people that watch videos or things online and I don't always drop a like, so I can't expect for every single person to drop a like. What up, CJ? What up, Chase? I see you, Chase Rue. Marco, I downloaded Fortnite. You ready for some smoke? I know. Where's Marco at? Marco, are you gonna look at Marco talking to Trout about the Jets losing? Let's not talk about losing, Marco. I want to see if you actually get some kills on there. What up, Amade? I have a feeling they might put Punk on Raw because of the contract negotiations. Yeah, that's gonna be going down this upcoming week. So let's get right to the thick of it. And as always, I'm going to be recording these segments for anyone that missed the stream live so it could be clipped easier. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up the screen for the first order of business. We're going to leave CM Punk we're going to leave CM Punk's negotiations for last, all right? Because CM Punk is obviously going to take up most of the stream here. But let's talk about SmackDown. SmackDown had something really exciting go down. Honestly, I can't remember the last time. When was the last time that we had Randall on SmackDown like that? Does anyone know? So what you guys are seeing here, this is Randy Orton revising his contract, all right, for SmackDown. In what feels like breaking news if you didn't see SmackDown, if you haven't kept up with WWE, Randy Orton has moved on from Raw, where he was originally at, where he got hurt, and he is now part of the SmackDown brand, where he actually gave an RKO out of nowhere to Nick Aldis, the SmackDown GM. He's going for the bloodline. He said it on Monday Night Raw to open up the show, and it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see that Randy still blames the bloodline, rightfully so, for his massive injury and being shelved for about 18 months. I like that they're applying real life into this story. They're applying the injury and the bloodline taking him out. And he even went ahead and kind of forgave Jay. He told Jay, look, if you're not part of the bloodline, then we're good. We're good. Because Jay went up to him and said, hey, Randy, you know, I had your back, this and that, whatever. And Jay just wanted to be cool with Randy. And Randy made it very loud and clear that he's all good with Jay as long as he has nothing to do with the bloodline, which is obvious for right now, the story that's going on. Jay is not in the bloodline. There's no twists and turns coming with that. But Randy, you know, being one of the greatest of all time that he is, ends up showing up on Friday Night SmackDown. And, you know, I really didn't expect for them to move him right away like that. I thought he was going to be a free agent a little longer. But he's targeting the bloodline, like I said. And he started off with Jimmy and Solo in the ring. Paul Heyman was out there. And no one can contain this man. He went off. And, you know, he almost got double teamed. But LA Knight proving that he is still the megastar despite CM Punk returning, despite Randy Orton returning. LA Knight, man, still showing his value through and through. The crowd erupted like a volcano. It was amazing to see LA Knight get the pop that he got despite everything that's been going on in WWE this week. So for Randy Orton going after the bloodline, I like what they're doing here. LA Knight still has some unfinished business. I know that LA Knight is not going to beat Roman Reigns, especially at the Royal Rumble, but I would like for LA Knight to show up at the Royal Rumble, enter the Royal Rumble, and be part of the Final Four. You know, the Final Four of the Rumble always leaves a lasting impact. It's one of those things that you memorize more than the entire match itself. And having LA Knight kind of show out like Gunther did last year. Brian and I were discussing this in a party this past week. Having LA Knight show up and do his thing at the Rumble will definitely work magic. And let's face it, Randy Orton now being on SmackDown gives us that championship match we always wanted to see, that Riddle ultimately tried having with Roman Reigns. Riddle went up against Roman Reigns and failed miserably on that one Friday Night SmackDown when Randy had just gotten hurt, remember? It was soon after the fact. And look, I love that Randy's back. I don't mind he's going for the title. I know Roman needs some valid opponents, and the story writes itself. Do you see Randy Orton actually having an opportunity at beating Roman Reigns? You know, I was thinking yesterday, I went back and watched some of the highlight promos between The Rock and CM Punk. CM Punk was champion for over 430 days. The Rock came back and pretty much, you know, took the belt from him at that Royal Rumble in 2013. And, you know, after a super long reign, The Rock comes back as a surprise and he's gunning for the title. What if this is a similar instance? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here, right? Because I truly, honestly don't believe Randy's going to be the guy to beat him. But The Rock didn't need to beat CM Punk then. The Rock didn't need to beat CM Punk. You know, Roman Reigns didn't really need to beat Brock Lesnar when he did. But those are things that still happen. Whether you loved it or hated it, got people talking. So is Randy a valid opponent? Is Randy a formidable opponent for Roman Reigns? Who do you think can ultimately beat Roman Reigns, if not Randy? I think there's a case to be made for Randy Orton. And now that he's on SmackDown, that's a valid option. Not just because the feud writes itself, like I said, but he's part of the brand going forward. So people can't complain about Randy jumping over to face Roman for the sake of, you know, just facing Roman. How is Cody going to get to Roman now? I don't know. Things are getting complicated, and this is a good problem to have. There's so many people that could go after the title. I mean, CM Punk is one of them. There's even rumors that CM Punk is back to face Roman Reigns. Rock was a placeholder for Cena, and I understand that, but what if Randy's a placeholder for Cody? You know, and you're right, VJ. You hit it right on the head right there. He could very well be a placeholder for Cody. Ahmed said it's Cody, but I don't know, man. It could really be anyone, and we won't see it coming. We sure didn't see The Rock beating CM Punk the way he did. I mean, after John Cena won the Rumble, it became clear that was going to line up for The Rock and Cena to face off at WrestleMania. But we just don't know what the future holds for Roman, especially with how many shows he's been missing. It seems like he's only going to appear once in December, so there's not going to be a whole lot to do with Roman here, but Randy has his hands full. He still has to go through Jimmy. He still has to go through Solo. He's going to have a little entanglement with Paul Heyman. Randy's going to do Randy, and he's going to RKO everyone on his way to Roman, so maybe that gives a chance to LA Knight to kind of do something. Cody and Randy at Mania would be full circle. It's still a big moment. I don't know. I'm intrigued by this signing for SmackDown, and what does this say for Nick Aldis, who's already getting physical? A guy who came in as just the GM is now getting over with the fans, getting popular, and getting physical with the wrestlers. What if there's a future match in place for Randy to face off against Nick Aldis? Remember, when Bryan Danielson got healthy, he was holding on to some receipts, and he had some great feuds right after he came back. So what if Nick Aldis is recovering from an injury, or this is just WWE, kind of placing his character into the fold, and ultimately we'll see a big feud between Randy and Nick, where Nick gets finally the opportunity he's been, longing for in his wrestling career. Who knows, man? I really like Randy going to SmackDown. I'll say that much. Really good start. So let's see. Let's read some of the comments here. We got Omar. What's going on, Omar? VJ came in. Do you trust Randy for giving Jey Uso? I don't think so. You can never trust Randy. He'll give you an RKO out of nowhere with the flip of a switch. What up, John? Cody and Randy would be a full circle classic. Lex, what if Roman has to give up? What if Roman has to give up the title because of his health and can't make WrestleMania? I don't really think that's going to be the case. I think Roman will most definitely be at WrestleMania, especially with the early promotions going around. With the sale of Philadelphia, Roman has been kind of plastered. I mean, obviously life happens, things change, but I don't foresee that being a thing. LA Knight could be a better placeholder, yeah, but at the end of the day, looking at, the guy that beats this guy needs to get the rub, or the guy that beats that guy needs to get, benefit from this. How many times haven't we seen guys win through time and it be just placeholder or whatnot, and there's no real catapulting a guy like LA Knight? I mean, LA Knight does need it in terms of validation, but I think LA Knight needs to go ahead and beat the U.S. title take the U.S. title from Logan Paul. I think that'll be monumental for LA Knight. Just as much as him becoming a just world champion right now. Obviously, beating Roman would be a little more hype. Roman is at the top of the food chain. Roman has been on top for so long. He's been at it, forever. It feels like a lot of people are dying for him to lose the belt, and the crowd would just go bananas if LA Knight wins. It's like a riot in a good way, So it'll be a celebration, a universal celebration. And I know I'm doing a play on words because it's for the Universal, Undisputed Universal Championship. But I don't know. I really see so many different possibilities, despite us kind of feeling like there's really only one road, and it being Cody. But I see so many possibilities here. It's funny that someone actually, who was it? It was DJ yesterday while I was playing Call of Duty. He was talking to me about wrestling and that he's looking at the landscape of WWE, and WWE not really having that many main eventers or that many people that are valid champions and that are credible champions. And I started laughing because I'm like, bro, right now we have so many people that can take the title off of anybody. I mean, Kevin Owens, I know he's on Smackdown, but just for argument's sake here, guys, just to talk about the landscape, just give me a second. Suspend your disbelief here and just listen to what I have to say here. We have Kevin Owens, who can easily take the belt even from Seth Rollins. We have Finn Balor, can do it as well. We have Damian Priest, Money in the Bank briefcase holder right now, that I see the comments online. A lot of people are saying, oh man, I don't know, I don't really want Damian to cash in. And then there's a lot of other people saying, oh man, it can't be a failed cash in. Damian needs to cash in and successfully do it. But a lot of people are feeling a little indifferent about it because CM Punk is now in the fold. Randy Orton is not in the fold with Seth, but he's kind of back into the title picture, right? So I'm looking at WWE, man, and this just reminds me and oozes Attitude Era, where you had main eventers fighting mid-carders and creating main event storylines and flip-flopping between that scene. You got Jey Uso fighting for the title on Raw. You got Drew McIntyre, which we're going to get into shortly here. Randy, sorry, because I'm here making sure that I don't forget the uploaded clip here. But we have Drew McIntyre, who's absolutely livid. Like, Drew McIntyre is like super pissed off, and that's gonna be the conversation of this next segment. This past Monday, on Monday Night Raw, guys, we saw Drew McIntyre have a face-to-face with Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn tried talking to him backstage. Sami Zayn, another valid main eventer, tried talking to him, saying, hey, Drew, I've been there. I faced Roman in front of my family. I got humiliated. The bloodline screwed me, but I'm dusting myself off and I'm trying to, go for the title. And I know I'm going to be world champion one day. And Drew McIntyre was earlier in the night in the ring with Seth, and he's trying to, make a case in point. Hey, Seth, you were right. Losing to you made me realize it was all my fault, all this or whatever, only for Seth to ultimately reveal to him, hey, Drew, I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm actually defending my title on Monday Night Raw. And when I defend my title, it's going to be against Jey Uso. And remember, guys, we've been seeing Drew McIntyre slowly turn heel, week after week, whether it was teaming with Riddle and kind of wanting to turn his back on him, turning his back on Jey Uso, on whoever was getting beat up in the ring, and turning his back on, it just didn't matter in the situation. He's kind of turning his back on the people because Drew McIntyre is just fed up. And then now CM Punk is here, so everyone online is talking about, oh yeah, CM Punk being back has Drew McIntyre pissed off because he's not in the title picture anymore and all this and all that. And I'm just like, holy snap, the main event scene right now is looking really stacked. Such an amazing moment to be a wrestling fan in general, but especially for WWE on the scale that they're going at, with so many pay-per-views going overseas next year. One can see and imagine that Drew McIntyre will remain in the main event scene time in and time out. Just, this guy, a lot of people just keep saying, he's probably going to leave. He hasn't re-signed with them. The contract negotiations are not going right. Drew McIntyre is the perfect mold for a WWE superstar. I mean, this guy's what, like 6'6", super jacked up, looking like a tree trunk. I mean, when he took down Brock Lesnar at that one WrestleMania where he dismantled him, like, I believed it. Like, Drew McIntyre is capable in a wrestling ring in WWE storyline wise. We don't know how good he is in MMA. We're not talking about combat sports in real life. We're talking about his character and the way he's portrayed. Drew McIntyre is a valid main eventer through and through. He's gotten better on the mic. He's you know, zoned in on his character, you know, the Scottish warrior, the psychopath, all that good stuff that he's done. Drew McIntyre is now just furious that Jay is getting another shot at the at another title, you know, because remember, Jay was, well, not on another title, I'm sorry, but Jay is getting a shot at the title while Drew felt he still deserved that rematch. So seeing him bleed after hitting Seth on Monday Night Raw and seeing the way that he reacted and how poised he is to try to strip away the belt from him and get what's rightfully his, because remember, Drew never had his moment. During the pandemic, Drew carried with Randy. They had a phenomenal feud, but that was it. Drew didn't even have much else going on for him, and it was a lackluster moment in time for the world, and Drew wasn't able to celebrate his accomplishment. So I do see Drew McIntyre staying with WWE. I do see Drew McIntyre ultimately possibly even taking a break in the near future, since I read that he's been having some issues with family after losing some family members and him wanting to be close to home. So, you know, at the end of the day, him being in the mix right now is the perfect way to kind of send him off into the sunset a little bit and then have him, you know, rebrand his character, which is what's going on right now. Is Jay gonna beat Seth Rollins? No way. Drew is not gonna even allow for Jay to have a chance. Jay and the Bloodline screwed over Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is gonna screw over Jay, and I do see Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. That's a big match. Can you just imagine how Royal Rumble is shaping up? Arguably gonna be one of the best 30-man Royal Rumbles we're gonna get this year coming up, with everyone that's going to be involved. Hopefully we'll get some surprise cameos, and then on top of that, the possibility of seeing Drew and Seth tear the house down alongside, you know, maybe Roman and Randy or Roman and LA Knight. I mean, just crazy to think that this is what's going on in WWE. Do you think Drew McIntyre, before re-signing, before taking a break, before whatever comes next for him in his career, do you think Drew McIntyre is the runner-up to become champion? Is he taking the belt from Seth freaking Rollins? After that promo on Monday Night Raw, man, I would really love to see what Drew looks like with the belt. You know what's funny, actually? If Drew comes close to winning the title, I think Damian Priest is going to be right there to snatch it from him. And Judgment Day is going to be the new bloodline in his horror story. That's what I think. So let's read and see what you guys got going on. Drew's still kind of a tweener only. Yes, you're right. He's still a tweener. I honestly think Cody versus Randy for the title would be money at Mania, full circle. Yeah, no, you're right. Cody versus Orton world title versus Roman versus Rock. Rollins versus Punk. Gunther versus Brock. Logan versus Knight. That'll be crazy, Ahmed. That's a good show right there. Let me see. I know a Raw superstar will win the Rumble, but how does Cody go to SmackDown? Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Cody could go to SmackDown if he picks that as his opponent, I guess. Sami Zayn, KO, LA Knight, Balor, Priest, Punk, Cody, Gunther, Randy, Shinsuke, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, AJ Styles, all potential world champions. And I know we're probably missing a few. I mean, Brock Lesnar could always be flip of a switch too. Brock Lesnar's always on standby. The Beast is always there. Let's be honest. But how stacked, you know, and Cody said it in his press conference, we have the most baby faces we've had in a long time. And to have them all be, you know, headliners. They've all headlined Monday Night Raw. They've all headlined pay-per-views. And it's been beautiful to see. Stone Cold, yeah, I know, Byron. People are saying, "Oh, we could." What up, Carter? People are saying, "Oh, we could finally get Punk versus Stone Cold." Would that be? That would be amazing. That would be a dream match. That would be a dream match. That would be a spectacle. I mean, that would be insane. But I'm not gonna put stock Look, guys, one thing that wrestling fans online, let me just tell you, let me direct this straight to the fans out there that are already putting this into the universe. Bless your heart for putting that into the universe. What I like to see it after Stone Cold had that matchup with Kevin Owens, obviously, don't forget to like up the stream. Hell yeah, Carter, you already know. Obviously, I would like to see Stone Cold return. I love Stone Cold. He's my favorite. And the match that he had with Kevin Owens recently, 2 WrestleManias ago now, it was outstanding to see him go all around the ring and put on the show he put on despite being gassed out, despite being his age. He looked great, and Kevin Owens sold the shit out of him. But is that match really going to work? Can Stone Cold really put on, another show? Does he have another one left in the tank? I know he got that bug to want to return, and there were rumors about him possibly doing something last year, and it didn't come into fruition or whatever. It didn't work out. But now with CM Punk being back in the fold, that's something that the fans always wanted. And I know that Triple H is trying to do what the fans always want and all that. He's trying to be a crowd pleaser when he can, to push WWE forward. And I'm just not going to put stock in it, guys. I can't. I'm not going to put stock in The Rock. To me, last year's WrestleMania was phenomenal, and in the back of my head I was like, damn, what if The Rock would have been here? But I'm glad they did the stuff with Cody, and Cody had that moment in time in history. But I don't really want to sit on that idea of like, because I wasn't disappointed at WrestleMania. I was disappointed at last year's Royal Rumble when we thought that The Rock might show up, and they played into that and they hyped it up, and then The Rock didn't show up at the Rumble. That feeling, man, I don't want it to overshadow anyone that we have right now. There's just so many people that we have, and CM Punk has barely been back for 1 week, and we are already talking about hoping Stone Cold returns. Like, it's not about the next return, guys. It's about what we have right now and doing what we can with what they have right now. Like, I don't think it's healthy as a fan. I don't think it's healthy as a fan to sit here, it's not healthy as a fan to sit here and be like, oh yeah, CM Punk is back, but Stone Cold should return right now. I think this guy is great. Cody is back. Cody is awesome. He should go for the title, but I want The Rock. That's not healthy for our heart, for our soul as a fan. I just don't know how we could sit here through another agonizing, torturous, season of WrestleMania and hoping for these guys who are 50, 60 years old or whatever, to return. It's just not really my thing. Oh, John Cena should come back and face Austin Theory. Look at how that turned out last year. John Cena played it super safe, and it was a super, middle of the pack type of match. It was solid, but yeah, it's not really necessary is what I'm trying to get to. And I'd rather focus on the headlines that we can make right now within the toy box that we have readily available. Let's talk about what we have within our system and our roster and what we could get out of that. We got to maximize the roster that we have right now. The potential of Damian Priest is looming. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. LA Knight being in the final 4 of the Royal Rumble. Randy Orton feuding with Roman Reigns. It doesn't matter if we know the outcome of some of these matches. It doesn't matter if we could predict that Roman is retaining. It doesn't matter if we could predict that Cody could possibly win the Rumble again, or Sami Zayn, or whoever the next man up is. It's all about how they deliver it. Jimmy versus Jay. Is there a title on the line? Is Jay gonna capture a title before WrestleMania? How does this storyline take the next step in evolution, because Jimmy has kind of become like a crazy clown of the bloodline? What is Solo gonna be doing? I'm more worried about that. I'm more worried about those other guys that we need to see step up. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, who's been North American champion for God knows how long. He's defending the title at Deadline. Like, we have so many things to worry about with what we have. Even Lesnar versus Gunther. Why are we going to sit on the whole Lesnar and Gunther thing when we know they haven't even used Lesnar? Lesnar's not even really part of the roster right now as we know. He's kind of gone, and yeah, he could show up at any time, plug and play or whatever, but do we really know that Brock Lesnar is going to be available? Do we really know that Triple H even wants to utilize Brock Lesnar? He allowed for Goldberg's contract to kind of just end, right? So, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to settle either. I want to get the best WrestleMania. I want to get the best Royal Rumble. I want to get the best WrestleMania season that we possibly can. I just don't think it really needs a guy like The Rock to come back and steal the thunder of Cody. Because if The Rock is coming back, I've been saying this time in and time out. I love The Rock. The Rock could come back at any point in time. He has the door open from my end, right? From my point of view, I don't care. The Rock could come back right now. But that means that Cody needs to whoop Roman beforehand. And Cody needs to do it in a way where we could kind of involve The Rock or lead to involving The Rock in some capacity. A kind of a self-reflecting moment for Roman Reigns where he realizes that he kind of got consumed by his own power. Something like that, you know, where it leads into The Rock coming back trying to slap some sense into his cousin. But having The Rock come back to steal Cody's stuff, I don't know, man. I really want to see. Cody is right now, you know, the leader of the pack. You know, it's up there for the top spot right there with Roman is Cody and Seth Rollins. So I want to see. That's what's up, Keon. I want to see where that goes. I want to see what they do with that before anything else. Because we're just gonna set ourselves up for disappointment, and that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for, bro. Because it's always the same stuff with us as fans. Oh yeah, this guy can come back. This guy can do. Nah, I don't think that's the way to go about it. So let's get into our next topic here. Let's see how we transition into the next conversation that I wanted to have with you guys. Because remember, CM Punk is still looming. We still got to get into the whole CM Punk stuff and what the hell's going to happen with him. But I'm uploading as I go here. All right, so I got these two videos up. Boom. All right, cool. So the next thing I had here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay, I remember now. Oh man, guys, this is a good one. I'm really hyped to talk about this one. This is one of my favorites, my personal favorites. What a moment on Monday Night Raw. I gotta give it to WWE. We all thought Shinsuke was possibly calling out CM Punk or someone of that nature, right? Someone else. We didn't expect for it to be Cody at all. At all. At least I didn't. Shinsuke had a beautiful feud with Seth Rollins. He was kind of like in limbo a little bit. He had his fair share of matches since, and he's won. He's been shown in a way where he looks like a valid threat to many on the roster, but hadn't picked his target. And he was doing a bunch of aimless promos, which I absolutely love. They're making him kind of like a hitman type vibe, a ninja, if you will. And his next target all along was Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who just announced he was entering the Royal Rumble and was cut off by Shinsuke. Shinsuke came out, blew the mist, the red mist, you know, paying homage to the great Muta, one of the guys that trained him, one of the guys that he's wrestled with. I just love it. I love it. This is just a great tale here being told. Good versus evil, bad versus good, baby face versus heel. This is going to keep Cody Rhodes busy. They're going to spill this feud into the Rumble, I'm sure. There's going to be some nice face-offs. Cody's going to cut his heroic American Nightmare promos, you know, his white knight in shining armor. And Shinsuke is going to be able to be the bad guy and kind of feed off of that heroic fandom that Cody carries with him. Great move by Triple H. I applaud him for this. It's a ballsy move because at the end of the day, I did read some comments and people are like, oh, what has Shinsuke done? What is going on here? What a waste and all this. And I'm just like, nah. Shinsuke just fought for the title. This is not a waste at all, one bit. You want to see these kinds of stories. This is what made the Attitude Era so damn good, right? Before we got to see The Rock win the title, before we got to see Stone Cold or Undertaker, Mankind, all these guys that we all know and love, Triple H or whatever, you look back in time and you see all of them as main eventers 24/7, but that wasn't the case. It wasn't the case at all, not even by a long shot. And I mentioned this time in and time out, and it's what I have fresh in my memory, but The Rock, while feuding with Stone Cold, also had a feud with Hurricane Helms. Yeah, and Hurricane Helms beat him on Monday Night Raw. And that are the moments in time that you kind of remember and captured, you know, that vibe. So looking at WWE in 2023 and going into 2024, the best thing that they can possibly do for a character like Shinsuke and the whole roster is create these stories without the belt on the line, and you know, taking it a step further with the promos and the time on TV, because Monday Night Raw is 3 hours. We have so many main eventers. Not everyone can go for the title. There's literally only one main champion on Raw. Seth Rollins is the guy right now. There's only one main champion on SmackDown. Roman Reigns is the guy right now. You get what I'm saying? So Shinsuke wasn't going to beat the belt off of Seth, because Seth has a little more work to do putting that title on the map, and they're doing something special with him right now. And he's going to drop the title real soon. I would have loved to have seen Shinsuke win it, but I don't want Shinsuke to capture the title and for the momentum to kind of die off. I still want his character to grow and to kind of learn from the mistakes that he's making, which is what caused for him to kind of lose track of things and lose sight of the picture, the bigger picture here. So recalibrating that character with Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes also learning from an evil menace like Shinsuke, right? You know, the things that Shinsuke is going to pull out, whether it's a weapon or a submission move or his striking ability, and then mixing that up with the mist that can really get him going at any time. I think that this is just great all around. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do here. Ultimately, job well done. Monday Night Raw is creating these stories that are going to make the 3-hour show go easy on us, because let's face it, you know, sometimes it gets a little rough when you don't have additional storylines going on and all you're waiting for is Gunther with the belt, all you're waiting for is the tag titles or the Judgment Day or Seth Rollins. Now we have Cody and Shinsuke. So how do you guys feel about this? I see Jason saying I agree with you, I love this storyline. How do you guys feel about Shinsuke getting another shot at a big name here in a big way? Cody is in danger. Shinsuke may be the reason why Cody doesn't win this upcoming Royal Rumble. And that's crazy to think. So whoever says, oh, WWE doesn't use Shinsuke right, WWE doesn't use their Japanese superstars right, look at Io Sky, look at Asuka. They just got this new girl to come back too. And then Shinsuke obviously in a prominent role once again. Amazing. Let me see what you guys got going on. Quan Chi trailer for MK1 is out. Man, you know, I forgot about the last update. I got to get on it. I got to do some gameplay for that shit. Seth have a lot more charisma right now. Well, I think you mean momentum, right? Because Shinsuke has a ton of charisma, and he doesn't even really have to talk to put that charisma into work and to play here, honestly. And guys, we're talking about the main event scene, and I just saw like a picture of Carmelo Hayes. We have so many people on NXT that can get called up at any given time. Like, we are spoiled right now. I mean, we got Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes. Man, like, that shit is crazy. Trick Williams, whoop that trick. So many superstars. So let's get to it, guys. Remember, this is the WWE hour here. Oh, Bronson. Oh my God, Carter. You know what? I almost got to let's talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. Oh man, thank you for bringing that up, because that is a feud that I didn't know I wanted. There's a lot of mass here. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here, and I appreciate you bringing it up right here, right now, for us to get into that topic. Good point. Strong point. Let me see, VJ. I agree the Japanese stars are in a bigger picture. Yup. Exactly, VJ. Oh, my God. Look at this picture right here. This picture says it all. This feud between these two gigantic monsters. I don't even know what to utilize here to emphasize the humanity involved in this feud. We were talking about Cody and Shinsuke being put in a prominent spot. How about Ivar, man? Ivar from the Viking Raiders, he has put on banger after banger for real. Whether it's been the number one contender matches for the Intercontinental title, which he's lost a lot, right? The tag team matches, the match with the Miz, they have just done an incredible job putting this guy on the map after his tag team partner got injured. Him and Bronson Reed had the encounter on Monday Night Raw, and it just wasn't enough. It spilled into NXT, and they have all these interconnecting stories that boil over from show to show, and it's almost like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You don't want to miss one of the movies, right? Because it leads into something else, and it turns into something else that you may not see coming, but you want to be aware of it. So you got to kind of keep going with the story in whatever universe they explore it on. So in this case, you got to see the highlights for NXT because you want to see what the hell happened between Ivar and Bronson Reed. And you guys could say, hey, I don't really care about that. That's not for the main title. That's not going anywhere. Look, you may be right on that note, but to see the heavyweight division, the real heavyweight, the ultra heavyweight, the big Otises of the world, for them to have the showcase and the time on TV again on a 3-hour show, we need these feuds to exist. We need The Miz to go up against LA Knight. We need The Miz to go up against Gunther, which is another topic that I'll get into shortly. But we need these things, guys, to keep the ball rolling, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep us coming back to watching these weekly shows. They need to give us stories beyond the average title and the average main star. And that's how you create rising stars. I mean, do I see Ivar winning a championship in the near future? Maybe not. But, you need a formidable opponent to really elevate the other talent. So if Bronson Reed, for example, who's been in like every single U.S. title, number one contendership, the Intercontinental number one, you got to have a formidable opponent. And Bronson Reed, there's very few people that look like they could beat him. Like when he was feuding with like Ricochet and stuff like that, I'm like, come on. Ricochet cannot move this guy. As great as Ricochet is, which I love his aerial assault, he's not that good on the mic. But as good as I like Ricochet and his moveset, he's just no match for Bronson, right? So having Bronson in this role, I'm just like, man, WWE, just come on, look at that picture for the millionth time. This is a lot of humanity here, a lot going on, and good job, Triple H, for making me care and kind of seeing another bright spot on Monday Night Raw. Because let's face it, VJ tells me, hey Lex, are you doing a watch party? And I'm like, I love wrestling, but to sit here 3 hours and not really give a shit about anything else, and then see Nia Jax show up out of nowhere and not really do a whole lot, and then misusing this character and that character, they're doing it right. So I'm gonna give this week, the way they've built up these stories, I gotta give them props. That's where I'm at. Do you like Bronson Reed and Ivar? Have you given them a chance? Have you tuned in to their storyline a little bit? How do you feel about these two gigantic monsters going toe-to-toe? Who do you see as a future champion here? It doesn't matter which title. It could be the Intercontinental Tag title. It could be the main World Championship. I don't care. Gold is gold. Who do you see capturing gold in the near future? Who's going to be a champion sooner rather than later between these two? Bronson Reed or Ivar? I'm loving this storyline. Keon loves it. It was great. Okay, okay. By the way, guys, these videos that I'm clipping and uploading on YouTube, I would really appreciate if you guys drop on by when I upload them, when they show up on your feed. Drop on by, stick around, drop some comments, push the conversation further, and you know, it really helps out the videos. So if you guys ever see one of my videos that you already saw me talking about it, I'll greatly appreciate it if you do that for me. That'll be amazing. You guys are awesome. Oh snap! Peacemaker was shown in the gameplay at the end of the trailer. He looks so good. Oh man, that's really who I'm looking forward to in that DLC. All right, so we got the Bronson Reed video, Shinsuke, Drew, and Randy. Cool. So we got some nice videos here up. Santos Escobar is doing really well too, guys. I like Santos Escobar and what he's doing. Is John Cena's likeness and voice? Yeah. I saw how he looked in the little promo for it, but I'm glad that they added the voice. I wish he could win the world title and from Seth, but I know he's not. Yeah. I wish. On Tuesday, we got the GTA stuff. Yep. Everybody's acting like the game is coming out on Tuesday. The women's tag title, I don't know. You know, I can't spend too much time talking about that because let's face it, ain't a lot of substance going on right there. Ain't a lot going on right there. Gunther though, Gunther and the Miz, you know, Gunther and the Miz, they got some good stuff going on. Let me Gunther and Imperium having their fair share of issues within. I like that. Hold on, let me see. Where is it? Hold on, I'm looking for a cool picture here that I like. All right, I like this picture right here. All right, let's get. I do want to talk about Gunther and Miz because I almost completely forgot about it, and then after this we'll get into the CM Punk stuff, obviously, which I can't wait for. Gunther, dun 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 dun. Straight Edge, stop being a hater. Yeah, we're gonna get into the CM Punk stuff after this right here. What up, Jake? Guys, help me wish Jake a happy birthday, man. Today's his birthday. If everyone in here could wish Jake a happy birthday. He told me yesterday he was turning 24, so happy birthday, Jake. Hope you have a good one. No, we do not need Randy and Punk on the same show. Give me quality. Put CM Punk on Raw with Seth. I hear you on that. That's probably what's gonna happen. All right. Here we go. Jake the Snake. That's funny because that's what I was calling him too, Brian. How about this one? I'm on a parade right now. I'm really on a parade right now. I'm praising just about everything that we've seen on WWE. I'm leaving the negative stuff out, obviously. There's a couple things I could pinpoint and bash here and there, but I want to focus on the things that I like and the things that I've been, you know, really thoroughly enjoying. And one of those things is Gunther and The Miz. You guys can say whatever you want about The Miz. You know, I used to kind of like feel cringy towards the bad guy role that he plays, or I would feel like awkward that he's as good as he's gotten, or like I just felt some kind of weird way, right? And I'm talking about years and years and years ago, not right now. I'm talking about a long time ago. I can say in 2023, bro, that like Like, that's it. This guy has been in WWE for so long. I know he's a 2-time Grand Slam champion, and he has all the accolades to back up the fact that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not just the accolades, though, man. Like, the mic work, the crowd control, going with the flow, the improvisation in the matches. He is not the prototype, right, of a WWE superstar like a Drew McIntyre, like that looks like a bodybuilding monster, right? No, he's not that kind of superstar that imposes, like, he has that figure, but he is the perfect entertainer. And for whatever reason, some of these pro wrestlers, and it happens a lot with the guys in AEW, and I'm sorry for name dropping AEW here in a negative, kind of shady way. I'm sorry. But I just don't get this whole, I don't know if they do it to rub people the wrong way or to play it into the story, but this idea that you don't want to be considered a sports entertainer because it's Vince McMahon's way of, like, you're a pro wrestler. Like, look, bro, stop trying to act like this is combat sports. Stop trying to act like, like, I'm not saying you're not a badass. I'm not saying you can't be tough. You could be tough. You got to be tough to want to go out there and, like, want to get your ass whooped for entertainment. All right? You got to be a tough dude for that. Not everyone is super ultra tough, and a lot of people are playing tough guys, right? But sports entertainment, the word says it all. It's sports because there's a lot of athleticism involved here, and it's entertainment because it's a scripted TV show. At the end of the day, you could have John Moxley bleed, right, a gallon of blood, but that doesn't make it any much more realer. It was still something that was coordinated backstage between producers and the people involved. So get over it. Let's talk about The Miz and Gunther here, which is what this segment is all about. The Miz has brought his A game against guys like LA Knight, against guys like Gunther, because he is capable, not just capable, but he is that dude. He is just a Swiss Army knife. He could be the comedian. He could be the funny guy with Maurice, with the big balls and the little balls and the little storyline with that. That's going to make you laugh. That's going to make you, you got what I'm saying? And he could also be that cheating, conniving, fearless competitor. Or he could be a tutor, right? For a protege, like he did for Bryan Danielson, like he did for a little bit for Tommaso Ciampa, right? So this guy, the Swiss Army of WWE, they have him everywhere doing anything. And the best part about The Miz is that this guy goes out there with the microphone. All he has to do is flip that W upside down, scream a little bit, put that intense face you see in that picture, and you're listening. That's all he has to do. And Gunther, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. This guy has been on the rise for a hot minute. He didn't really come up in the rankings of WWE. Now, he was in NXT UK. He was in NXT after NXT UK closed down. I get all that. He is a somewhat of a WWE product because of their system, but he created a name for himself in Europe before showing up to WWE, where he was a heavy dude, right? So Gunther, being the polar opposite, being the pro wrestler, being the man's man, where, this guy is the ring general. He really owns up and lives to that nickname moniker. Putting him up against The Miz has brought out the best in him. The promo that he cut saying, The Miz is good. I respect what he's done, but now I've beaten him. He's great, but not great enough to beat me. Pretty much cementing Gunther as one of the greatest intercontinental champions of all time, and wanting to kind of visualize Gunther as the Roman Reigns of the mid-card division. So let's see what Brian is saying, because I know he's adding to the point. He's adding some good stuff here. He said, let's get one thing straight. There is no such thing as a pro wrestler without sports entertainer. If you remove the sports entertainment part from pro wrestling, all there is grapple wrestling. And none of those AEW clowns actual grapplers. And you know what I'm saying? And that's 100% a valid point. And especially in this conversation where we're talking about a guy who is a great grappler, a guy who is a great pro wrestler from what we've seen, especially for his size. Gunther is as simple as it gets when it comes to the ring, but it's just enough. And then you add the WWE element to his game. He's better than ever in terms of characterization. He's better than ever in terms of, just what he wants to send as a message on the microphone. You pair that up with The Miz, and bro, boom, you got magic, which is what they're cooking right now. The Miz says, Gunther, you're looking for your next opponent. Look no further. I'm here. He's trying to make a case in point for that. I don't think he's going to win the belt, but I just love to see the dynamic here because, again, like what Brian said, you can't have pro wrestling without the sports entertainer stuff. And you know what? Someone commented on one of my AEW videos when I was talking about the DLC and actually got their panties caught up in a bunch, and I ruffled their feathers. And I know you know who you are, especially if you're watching this video and you're this deep into the segment here. But he kind of called me out for calling them a superstar. No, that's WWE. These are not superstars. They're pro wrestlers. Oh my God. How do you get butthurt about being called a superstar? For someone to consider you a superstar, for a kid to buy your toy, for a grown man to wear your shirt, dude, that makes you a superstar. That makes you awesome. That makes you, a celebrity in that world. I would love to be called a superstar. I would love to be called something in that realm. A sports entertainer. Call me a YouTube entertainer. I don't care. That's not gonna. You don't have to call me. You're a content creator. You're a social media content creator. I don't get butthurt about those things. Why do these guys that want to put up these acts want to get butthurt about these things? But perfect example is WWE has made it work. If you give into the system, right? A lot of people got mad. Oh, they changed his name from what was his name? Walter. They changed Walter to Gunther. And everybody was getting mad. And come on. Look at how far he's come along with his new and improved version. And I'm not just talking about looks and his physique, because he's obviously in the best shape he's ever been. I'm talking about just his personality. And The Miz, man, credit and shout out to The Miz. Love what Mike The Miz has done. I love that Gunther has called him Mike, and they've gotten personal a little bit. And I'm excited to see where this story goes. NBA champs, not world champs. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's that conversation all over again, and I just don't get it, bro. I would love to be called a world champion. I would love to be called an NBA champion. I would love to be called a superstar. And it doesn't take away from what you truly are. At the end of the day, you're an entertainer. Even sports, right? Like football, baseball, basketball. Some guys are celebrities, others are just flat out athletes, and that's understandable. But at the end of the day, every single one of them are entertainers. They are all entertainers. You know why? Because they, even MMA and boxing, they're entertainers. Because to get you to buy the fight, to get you to watch these things, you got to get into the storylines and the rivalries, and they are on the stage for our entertainment. All right? So that's my story. That's why I love this feud. It's the perfect example of both worlds colliding, and I know The Miz is more than likely not going to beat Gunther, but my goodness, do I want to see them face off at least one more time. Give it to me one more time, even if it's at the Royal Rumble. Imagine the Royal Rumble. I'm thinking about it after all the other segments that I said. Imagine Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, and The Miz right? And then for the U.S. title, Logan Paul versus I don't know who. I really don't know. Santos Escobar maybe, because he's on a run too. So like, give us these matches, man. Give us these matches. Miz versus Gunther 2. I need it in my life. What do you guys think about the Miz? What do you guys think about Gunther? Have you been enjoying this feud? I know I put them over. I know I'm talking about it in this high regard because I truly feel that way, bro. I think it's time we just put all the naysayers to rest. The Miz is a valid future Hall of Famer. That's it. People crying about him being in shape is dumb. You know, because a lot of people also, you got to understand, straight edge, that a lot of people felt like, you know, he was fat shamed or whatever. That's the whole ordeal with Gunther's story. That's what's going on over there. A lot of people got butthurt that, you know, they fat shamed him and that Vince wanted him to lose weight. But then you got Gunther himself coming forward saying, like, this is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And it's like, come on, man. People think that they know more than the people. Like Vince told him to lose weight if he wanted to get called up for a reason. And it's worked out. It's worked out. Gunther is better than ever. He's more agile. He's just, yeah, Vince doesn't like fatties. He really doesn't. What up, Ace? You came in at the perfect time because we're about to talk about the best in the world. I'm about to become a cheese ball. If you guys thought I was a cheese ball throughout this whole wrestling WWE hour show that we did here, hang on, because I'm about to turn into a massive, you know, slice of cheese. Someone made a controversial video saying Bray Wyatt should be in the Hall of Fame. Man, look, you're sidetracking me here, and I'm not going to record this. I said I wasn't going to make any videos to talk about Bray Wyatt. I'm not going to make any clicks right now about Bray Wyatt unless they announce that he's in the Hall of Fame and stuff. Not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Hell yeah, Brian. Real quick, I'm kind of putting my thoughts into like a streamline to kind of make it short and sweet. If Bray Wyatt was still here on Earth, roaming, you know, alive and well, do I think he did enough to ultimately go into the Hall of Fame just for what he did in WWE on the main roster? It would be an argument, right? You would have to kind of sit there and debate and see, not just the accolades, because it's all storytelling, but you gotta go behind that. Like, what did he do for the people backstage? And from what I've heard, great, beautiful soul, nice guy, lending a hand anytime he could. Someone that is sorely missed, right? So you got to kind of look into all those things if he was still around, right? But the fact that he's gone, the fact that, I mean, besides Roman, Bray is the most notable holder of the Universal Championship. Yeah, and Brock Lesnar. Bray, Brock, and Roman. So when you look at the fact that his existence, this guy is done, like, he doesn't, we keep him alive in conversation. His family keeps him alive in conversation. The real Wyndham Rotunda, by the way, not Bray Wyatt, because we keep Bray Wyatt alive. His family, his kids keep Wyndham alive. That's their job pretty much going forward. That's what they got in their hands to deal with. As a fan, knowing how he died, what he meant to everyone backstage, like I said, which is very important, what he did contribute to the main scene, to storylines in general, how creative he was, how much he brought the best in him to help others around him every single time, right? And that's what makes him a Hall of Famer. Looking back at it now, looking at the fact that he can no longer add to his historic career, looking at the level of impact that he had in the wrestling world, from the people he touched that he knew personally to the fans like us that will continue to talk about his aura and what he brought to each show. Were his promos always the best? No. Did they feel directionless at times? Yes. Did they drag out a little bit too long? For sure. But it was always entertaining. It was always rewarding at the end. He was always trying to send a heartfelt message. And once you add that layer on top of the layer that he had all these people, again, that just really, really loved working with him, that is the definition of a Hall of Famer, especially in this industry with so many egomaniacs, with so many people that want to maybe just do it for the money, with so many trolls like Ryback, right? That spit so much negativity into the world. You had Bray Wyatt speaking this crazy level of creativity, and it just rubbed off on everyone in the locker room, bro. So just off of that alone, off of those things that I just mentioned, and again, being gone from this earth, being gone from having the chance to add to that historic career, what else can you really say? Even if you if you do it as an honorable mention, even if you do it as like a guilty pleasure, why not? Why not? We have Titus O'Neil, who has been one of the greatest representatives for WWE and spokesman for WWE. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that guy that created that video and spoke on his name and is talking about trying to be controversial and talking about, you know, I'm obviously going to get a little sentimental on the subject because it involves real life death and real life just not existing anymore, right? That guy's an idiot. And I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, honestly. I don't care who you are, what your credentials are, how long you've covered wrestling, how long you've watched wrestling. You're going to say that about someone that in the little time that he had with us in wrestling did what he did. I mean, the level of impact that Bray Wyatt brought to the business in the short amount of time is, for this generation, was massive. So he could go kick rocks. He got you to click on the video and bring that conversation into this one. So whatever. I guess he won, right? He got the click. He got your click. And he got me riled up to talk about it. But that's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Hopefully he gets inducted, and that's that. That's how I feel about it. So again, I'm gonna cheese ball right now so hard, and I'm moving along because I don't care to talk about that. I don't care about talk about Ryback. Ryback is a bozo. Ryback it's a local rapper that got killed at 23, but my city consider him a legend because of what he accomplished for the city. You know, there's people like that, bro. There's people like that accomplish a lot in little time and impact people in a positive way. And you could consider him to a degree a legendary, you know, figure in some way, shape, or form. Now, the one thing that I won't say is, like, I'm not gonna lie on his name. Like, people, when Paul Walker passed away, rest in peace. Another guy that I loved in the Fast and Furious movies, and I love some of his other movies that I watched from him. Into the Blue, I think he did Running Scared. There's other movies that Paul Walker did that I followed him on, so I like Paul Walker. But people, when he died, were actually posting, "Oh my God, rest in peace, Paul Walker. He was such a great actor." He was like they were making it seem like if he was like one movie away from winning an Oscar. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna add to that. I'm not gonna just say, Bray Wyatt suffered he had his fair share of things that made him human, and so did Paul Walker, and so did the next person, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But as a fan, I'm not gonna be blind to the facts and just gas it up. If we're inducting Bray to the Hall of Fame, and we're talking about Bray being in the Hall of Fame for real, it's to really shine light on his impact in the business with the time he had. That's it. All right. So, again, let me cheese ball here because we're at the 1 hour marker. I am going to stream later tonight for those of you wondering. I am going to play on the other channel some other games. I will be back on the wrestling channel, hopefully. But I wanted to do this stream, go over these segments because tomorrow's Monday Night Raw. We got a big Monday Night Raw show tomorrow. We got a big Smackdown with tribute to the troops. So I wanted to make sure on Sunday afternoon, everybody and anybody that could tune into some of these things that we needed to go over. So would you say Hall of Fame is rigged though? I don't know, bro. I think the Hall of Fame has more meaning now than it did back then. If that's my take. All right, here we go. Brian said it just a second ago. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That's a line that we will never, ever, ever forget. Just like we never forgot that Kevin Nash went over to WCW and said, "Look at the adjective, play. We ain't here to play." You know, CM Punk dropped that much, like that. It was that iconic to me for that much, right? To that level, to that extent. I just absolutely loved the promo. He hit every note possible. I already saw online there was a post that was shared around town. CM Punk actually had to sign an NDA. If you guys don't know what an NDA is, it's a non-disclosure agreement. You cannot mention AEW. You can't allude to it. You can't imply. There's no AEW mentions happening in the foreseeable future. So for those of you that tuned in to Monday Night Raw just to see CM Punk talk about AEW, I don't care for that. That's not what I wanted from Punk. Even though play is a verb, I know, and I love that LA Knight brought up Kevin Nash's promo and actually made fun of Kevin Nash for that same exact line. But yeah, you know, it's something that will always be talked about in wrestling. Kevin Nash, let's rest the case. He tried. He put his best foot forward, and it's just, come on. It is what it is. But for CM Punk, what he did there was masterclass. All right. I also read online to add more to more context here. Randy Orton and Dominic Mysterio went over their time limit, and it caused for CM Punk's promo to get shortened. Right? So CM Punk, with less time, not being able to talk about what happened and all the other things that went down outside of WWE, right? Without even having, at the very minimum, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. This guy shared what he thought and what he felt in like 5. So without having double the time, without opening the show, closing the show on a limited, restrained format, Dirty Dom doing dirty things. Hell yeah. Freaking taking time away from the best in the world. Whatever. Dirty Dom and Randy, they got my approval. It's okay. We'll get more CM Punk this upcoming week. But with limited time, this guy went out there and said, hey, I got hugs, I got kisses. Everyone's happy and everything is looking great. Not everybody's happy to see me back. People are scared. People fear. Look at the word that he used. The same word that Tony Khan used when he said that he had to let him go because he feared for his life. He said, people feared that I could just walk in and walk through that ramp. Like, I know I'm paraphrasing here. Just sky's the limit with what CM Punk can do in WWE. PG Punk. There was over like 2,000 to 3,000 tweets of PG Punk. It was trending. Like if CM Punk wasn't already PG. Like if Prime CM Punk wasn't his PG form. And I know I got a couple dislikes because people are feeling some kind of way about CM Punk. I know, the brass ring in his pocket. Exactly. The same brass ring that there's a ladder match in AEW. The same brass ring that CM Punk always, wanted to reach for while in WWE and kind of obtained it, right? And Vince McMahon always talking about that brass ring. There's just so much context here when you read between the lines in just 5 short minutes that as a fan of Phil Brooks, as a fan of CM Punk, the character, I am just so excited to see where this goes. I don't need to see him wrestle every week. Just give this guy about 5 to 10 minutes on the mic And what I love about WWE is that he's going to be working with some of the best writers in the business, right? And you guys are going to be like, Lex, why weren't you this excited about him in AEW? Well, because I was at first. I was super excited when he showed up at Rampage, to the point where I was legit crying. Like, I had tears of joy when I saw CM Punk back in a wrestling ring. And I wanted him to succeed in AEW. But outside of a few feuds like Eddie Kingston, you know, some promos with Jon Moxley, obviously MJF, those were my favorite moments, and that's about it. I didn't like all the extra stuff. And then he was about to start doing some special shit with Ricky Starks. And the Samoa Joe stuff was all right. But I wanted more from it. I wanted more. And I feel like Triple H and the team they have going on right now with CM Punk, that's the perfect storm. This is the fact that AEW existed for Phil Brooks to say, hey, holy shit, I am John Cena. I am the franchise. I just went back and saw the promo and the feud for Money in the Bank last night. I went back and did my homework just to kind of relive the moment and kind of visualize what he did in WWE prior, right, to leaving, and prior to his demise and walking out and all that shit. And that promo he cut in John Cena. John, you used to be the Red Sox and now you became the Yankees. You became everything you ever hated, pretty much, right? He said, you're the dynasty, John. Well, go figure that at AEW, CM Punk shows up, gets the red carpet treatment from Tony Khan, who's from Chicago, loves CM Punk, an absolute mark for the guy. Gets special treatment, gets commentary, gets extra mic time, gets everything. They rolled out the red carpet for this guy to come back. How all right, let me not curse so much. Hold on. How does that make everyone feel backstage, though? Imagine that you put AEW on your back, and here comes the franchise, CM Punk, to take that from you. If you think the argument about it wouldn't be... No! I love that AEW brought him back. I love that AEW re-energized CM Punk. Because CM Punk... on Monday Night Raw, what you saw in 5 minutes, that CM Punk is hungry. That CM Punk is dangerous. That CM Punk is gonna put on a show and a run of a lifetime. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that this guy stays healthy. We are gonna get some classics, bro. Seth Rollins right now is the CM Punk of old. Seth Rollins right now is going up against the same storyline, bro, that CM Punk had back then with John Cena. It's rehashing all over again. Bro, John Cena back then, leading up to Money in the Bank, called CM Punk a hypocrite. John Cena, out of all people, said to CM Punk's face, you're a hypocrite. Triple H back then, same thing. If it's not you leading, if it's not you on the poster, you don't care. You're a selfish prick. You're a hypocrite. Listen to what Seth Rollins said on Monday Night Raw when describing CM Punk. It's the way that people in AEW felt about him. It's the way that John Cena and Triple H described him on the mic over a decade ago. They're using those words carefully. Hypocrite. CM Punk cut a promo pandering and praising the fans. I heard you guys. I came back for you. I did it for you. I'm home. I'm here. Let's go. Only for the mic to cut off and look at the camera and say, I ain't here to make friends. I am here to make money. Come on, bro. If that's the start of his run with limited time, limited resources, and this guy did that much damage, I'm excited. He planted the seed. If it wasn't for AEW, CM Punk would have never came back to wrestling. Exactly. So for those of you that think that I'm just a WWE mark or that I'm just excited because he's now back home or whatever, I love that AEW brought him back. I love that Tony Khan managed to get him out of that dark slumber that he was in, that he didn't want to, end his career the right way, that he didn't have any interest, should I say. For the record, and I've said this in my other stream, I said this in my other videos, he doesn't need to be in wrestling. He doesn't need to put his body on the line. He doesn't need to do any of that shit. He could literally go out, do autograph signings. He could go out, continue making little comics. He could go off into Hollywood with the friends that he's made in the business, and he could go work as a producer, director. He could create his own movie. He could create his own podcast. He knows enough friends to bring on the show. He has enough credibility across entertainment in general. He was on that Mayans TV show in a little cameo. Like, this guy has enough contacts to do anything but wrestle. Anything. So that idea that he needed to go to WWE because he had nowhere to go, that idea that he needs the money, that wrong, and more wrong. Yeah, he wrote some comic books. That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, this is the perfect storm. And that's why I'm here talking about CM Punk again. I went back and I watched his little feud with The Rock too. Amazing feud with The Rock. Amazing feud with The Rock leading into the match. Obviously, he didn't beat The Rock. Obviously, he lost to Undertaker that year. Obviously, he got injured and walked away. Obviously, you got guys like Ryback calling him Fragile Phil. But I don't care about the haters. I'm going to continue to meat ride, hype it up, and I cannot wait to my next WWE event to buy my CM Punk merch because I saw that it's up for pre-order, but it doesn't get shipped till like January and shit. So obviously, I can't wait. I'd rather get it in person, but I can't wait, man. I told Erica, I want you to make me a shirt. I don't care. Like, I am as excited as I've ever been for pro wrestling in general, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. WWE, AEW, great that Edge is over there. Great that Sting is. I would love to see Sting's last match in North Carolina. I would love. I'm glad that AEW is doing more pay-per-views. I want to see more of what they got going on. So this is not a knock on AEW. This is not shade on AEW, but CM Punk needed to be in WWE. This is where he belongs. This is where he established himself. This is where PG Punk made a name for himself, all right? So, Smackdown. I'm done praising. I'm done overhyping. Well, maybe not overhyping because I am on that train, but SmackDown is his next appearance for WWE. Unfortunately, I don't see them promoting him showing up on Raw. Kind of breaks my heart because I didn't want to wait till Friday to see what freaking CM Punk had to say, honestly. Especially with Raw being 3 hours, I kind of wanted CM Punk to open the damn show. But it is what it is. I get it. They got to spread the wealth. They got to keep us kind of wanting more. I love that. I just love that WWE is using CM Punk as their cover for Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. They have him on the cover page there, him sitting down at Survivor Series. I also like that Tribute to the Troops is going to feature this guy who's been gone for so long, and they've been uploading on YouTube all the greatest moments for CM Punk. They even did a top 10 playlist. Like, go out and watch it. Get hyped up, man. Get on the wagon. Don't be a hater. Brian is like, oh, man, I've seen a lot of favorable stuff. I've seen a lot of favorable stuff because at the end of the day, CM Punk is a big brand, but I've seen a lot of people talk shit. Look at Nate in here. I don't know if you guys have been reading Nate's comments and being Mr. Debbie Downer here, saying he is fragile, Phil, Punk is greedy. I don't care, bro. We're here to be entertained, and this is one of the top entertainers to have ever crossed this business. And I'm just happy he's back. That's it. So Tribute to the Troops on SmackDown. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do there, honestly. maybe allude to what his next step in WWE is going to be. I really hope he stays on Monday Night Raw. I need Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in my life. I need Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in my life. We saw CM Punk beat Seth Rollins while he was in the Shield, but we need this version right now. We need this. I need this. Brian says, WWE Punk over Ring of Honor Punk. I don't care what y'all backyard wrestling fans wanted Punk to be in AEW, but he became CM Punk in WWE, not the nostalgic Ring of Honor act everyone built up. 100%. 100%. No doubt. I knew he was going to be a free agent thing. I would love to see AJ versus Punk. AJ Styles versus Punk is another match I would love to see. There's just so many possibilities. And at this level, with it's again the perfect combination, the writing team that Triple H has right now, and the level of production that Triple H has going on right now. Oh my God, this is just the perfect storm, bro. The perfect storm. So hit me up in the comments. Who do you want to see face CM Punk? What do you want to see CM Punk do next? Tribute to the Troops is the perfect moment for him to kind of, stand by the fact that he wants to be on Raw and that he wants to take over Monday nights and kind of, pay his little visit to SmackDown for the troops, for the love of wrestling, for the love of WWE. But I think Monday Night Raw is going to be his home. AJ versus Punk have a story already, with Punk and AJ having the longest WWE Championship reigns in the last decade. They got a feud at some point. They do. I think it's some real beef between them because of how Punk got upset with AJ for picking TNA over Ring of Honor. I don't think that's all that real, man. I mean, it's as real as guys, understand this. We're in an era that everybody wants to see, like the up, down, down type streams, right? Everybody wants to see these guys hold hands and sing Kumbaya and do videos backstage. And we don't need all that. You don't need to like each other, bro. What we need is some good matches that are built on some good freaking promos. That's what we need. And if there's a little fire under you because you don't really like the guy too much, then if that's what floats your boat, go for it. The Rock and Stone Cold made magic, and they didn't really like each other. So guess what? I don't care about none of that shit. I care about flipping on the TV, my phone, the computer, whatever you want to call it. I care about that. Getting entertained when I'm on it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. This idea of oh yeah, CM Punk is going to cause problems. Yeah, CM Punk is going to cause problems. Yes, CM Punk is going to stir the pot. Yes, CM Punk is going to make people feel some kind of way. And it's like what Bubba Ray, Mark Henry, and all these guys said. If that's a problem for you and you don't want to work right now when things are getting fired up, get out of here. That's it. Could have been real, but ain't no way these fools holding a grudge that small for this long. Exactly. This is all about being competitive. This is all about wanting to show up and show out, and the egos. Put that shit aside and give me some fucking good wrestling. You pass the torch to Nate. Yeah, Nate is crazy. Nate is a real hater. And he's trying to get my attention, and I wanted to stick to the script here a little bit. I wanted to stick to my beats that I wanted to cover, because if you talk to Nate directly one-on-one, you go off the rails and you kind of go off track, because he is a Punk hater. I don't know why, right? I don't know who he's watching, who's feeding him all this negative energy, but he's definitely like a negative Nancy, one of the worst negative Nancys I've ever seen on here in our channel. You know what's funny, guys? By the way, drop a like, man. We've had over 30 people in the stream and only 14 likes. That's a no-go. That's a no bueno. That sucks. All right? We need some more likes. Let me just get that off my chest real quick. We need a couple more likes, at least to get in the 20 range. Come on, dude, y'all could be better. Let me tell you something. CM Punk, as much as I hate when people mention WWE, Nate is a throwaway account from Perry. Yeah, that's Jack Perry right there, for sure. Jungle Boy acting a fool right now. When you go to a company like AEW and take digs at WWE the way CM Punk, I never really care for these guys to bring up WWE. Like, I hate when Dean Ambrose does it. It makes me cringe. I think it's corny. I like when MJF has done it a little bit for the most part. I like when Samoa Joe has brought up references. I don't like when like Jericho has tried saying, like, taking digs. It really depends on how you go about it. But when you're as big of a WWE fan as I am, and you're able to hear one of your favorites of all time, like CM Punk, say the shit that he said about WWE and still look past that, to me as a fan, I know that guys like Nate that hate CM Punk for whatever reason. Nate, I'm gonna give you the spotlight. What's your gripe? Why do you dislike CM Punk? What's your big issue with the guy? Let me know in the comments section. I'm sure everyone is eager to find out. Let us know real quick. What is your big gripe with CM Punk? Because the point that I'm trying to make is this. If I saw one of my favorites that I saw get made within the WWE system, and I saw him bash WWE the way he did in the press conferences and the promos on the mic and all that, if I saw one of my favorites go out to the opposing company, bash as hard as he did, and for me to still want to watch him, for me to still tune in because of him, for me to still follow what he was doing, for me to still be excited that he's back, even though he's a hypocrite, quote unquote, why? What's this big hatred? I don't get it. It's okay for guys like John Moxley to be bitter about WWE because they had bad experiences. It's okay for CM Punk to bash the doctors of WWE because they had him work while injured. It's okay for all these guys to share their displeasure because it's their reality. My problem is when you do it like Ryback. The way Ryback does it, that's not okay. The way Ryback trolls and talked about Vince McMahon's mom and like some molestation stuff and some bullshit and like some inappropriate things. Like, Ryback has gone way too far. That's what I don't appreciate. That's what I think is bullshit. Even Chris Jericho. I roll my eyes at Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho sounds like the biggest AEW fanboy. Like if he didn't work his whole damn career at WWE. And it's okay. That's the competitive spirit. That's the way he feels right now. I still love Chris Jericho. I still sing Judas. I still want him to succeed. But this hatred that guys like Nate have of like, oh yeah, I hate that. You don't have to like CM. Like if you didn't like CM Punk before, okay. You're not a CM Punk fan. I'm not saying everyone needs to be a CM Punk fan or everyone needs to be a fan of whoever the hell. There's a lot of people that hate Roman Reigns. Straight Edge hates Roman Reigns. I don't hate Straight Edge for hating Roman Reigns. I don't agree with him. I still think Roman Reigns is a shit. But what's this big bad vibe that like it brings that energy? Like, oh my God, I hate this guy is like everyone online. Oh, he's a traitor. He, like everyone that came after Edge. Edge is a traitor. Edge sold out. Like all these WWE fanboys. I'm just like, what? That's like the biggest Mickey Mouse excuse I've ever heard. Did you see what Moxley said, though? He don't care about Punk because AEW is wrestling and WWE is entertainment? That's stupid. Yeah. Remember, leader? Barry came in here and said, oh, I wish Edge ends up in a wheelchair because AEW is unsafe. I'm like, dude, you're talking about another human being? Like, Ending up on a wheelchair because you're mad that he's not in the company that you watch anymore? Are you kidding me? Like, does that... How old are you? If you hate Punk that much, I got some UFC videos for you to YouTube and get your rocks off. Yeah, like, I don't get it. And now that you brought up UFC, Brian, let me talk about UFC real quick, because I also see a lot of people talking shit about him losing, like Matt Riddle, for example. Super bitter ass tweet saying, "Oh, good. If you had problems with me, good luck with 0-2 Punk." Like referencing his 0-2 loss, like his losses in UFC when he got demolished. What? Like, who are you? He lost twice. Yeah, like Matt Riddle's like 10-1, I think, in UFC. Okay, so he could say that he's won double digit matches. I get it. He is a badass. He is good in MMA. CM Punk got in there older. CM Punk gave it his best shot. He took a beating. He got whooped. He got bruised and battered. But if anything positive came from this whole experience, was that exactly, Straight Edge, Punk got in there, so he's not so much of a punk, right? And Dana White said it recently. I love CM Punk, or he said something like it. Like, I love CM Punk. Every encounter I had with the guy has been awesome. He's awesome. The best part about CM Punk is that everyone that trained with him and everyone that was part of his camp, which he trained with some big names. He trained with royalty in MMA. For all those people to respect and salute CM Punk, and, you know, MMA fighters, just for the record, they don't do it just for money. Like, they get into fighting for money, yes, but the training and helping others and trying to elevate others, they don't do that just for money. All right, so if you say, "Oh, CM Punk paid them, that's why they have to say that," you don't have to earn the respects of these guys. These guys are true warriors, and these women too. You know what I'm saying? Duke Rufus, Tyrone Woodley, Anthony, and Sergio Pettis. These are MMA royalty, and I know a lot of people in here, 25 of you, I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't know who some of these names are. But these are people that are considered among the top of the cream of the crop, and they are very well, historically respected and admired by fans. For these people to speak up on the real CM Punk, Phil Brooks, the real guy, and talk about his character behind their circles the way they did about him, despite losing as bad as he did. They was saying that his opponent held back against him. Who cares? Who cares if the person that beat him bad could have beaten him worse? Who cares? He got in there. He has the respect of the real warriors of that industry. Batista did MMA, not UFC. He didn't fight in UFC. Batista was a little sloppy, and he admitted that he was a little old, but he did all right for what he did. You know, and Rami, you're spamming that you hate Roman Reigns, and you're saying that you hate Roman, but you love Brock. I think that's hilarious. But Roman a bitch? Nah, Roman. When Roman retires, you guys are gonna look back at Roman Reigns, and you guys are gonna admire that you had one of the greatest of all time right in front of you, and you took him for granted. You guys are just taking his greatness for granted. I love Roman Reigns. What up, MGM? You missed the stream, man. It's the end of the show here. We're going to come back later tonight. We got some more gaming over on the other channel. I'm going to go hang out with Erica a little bit and have a Sunday fun day. Have a great Sunday. We'll be back with more content. I hope you guys enjoyed the WWE News Hour. We covered a lot. I am going to have the segments on the channel. If you guys missed any of them, or even if you did tune into them, I hope you guys stop by, comment on them, drop a like, whichever one you like the most. I'm going to be releasing them within the next couple hours and between today and tomorrow. So I have some videos kind of, roaming on the channel, bringing in some new viewers. Monday Night Raw's tomorrow, so we got that coming as well. What about Nick Aldis and Orton? You excited for their possible rivalry? For sure. For sure. It's funny that Nate left the stream and he didn't even reply to when I asked, what do you hate so much about CM Punk? And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you hate CM Punk, strap on, bro, because I'm going to be here talking about CM Punk for a long time. Savior of Wrestling 2020, down year. Roman led the charge for one of the most financially successful eras in WWE history. Thank you, Brian. Brian put it in the best words, man. Brian is awesome, adding to the fucking fuel to the fire. I love it. Great response right there. Roman Reigns, that guy is what his shirt said, greatness on another level. And that's how I'll end it. All right. Roman Reigns is just too freaking good. Too sweet. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the conversations. I'll see y'all later with more. Peace.
Fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death.